Hello everyone, hope you're all well. If you're new around here, I make videos about minimalism, decluttering, living with a very small wardrobe, and occasionally a little bit of personal finance. I recently asked you guys if you have any questions for me on Instagram, and many of you requested a wardrobe update, so that is what I am filming for you today. Brief aside, I asked you guys on Instagram for questions because I want to do kind of an Ask Me Anything style Q&A video coming up in the next couple of weeks, and that's where I've gotten the questions so far, but I have not filmed that video yet, so if you've ever had any questions for me on any of the topics that I usually cover, or kind of anything in general, please leave them in the comments on this video or on this Instagram post, and I will look at both of those sources for your questions. I won't reply back to your comments and answer those questions right there, but I will address them in the video, so look out for that coming up. But let's get into the wardrobe update. Before I jump into the tour, I will give you a little bit of background in case you are brand new. I started decluttering my wardrobe about 3 years ago, and at the time I had a ton of clothing. I never took a real count of how many items of clothing I started with, but it was an absolute ton. And then roughly 2 years ago, whenever I started this channel, in my very first video, I decluttered my wardrobe from 118 items down to 50. So let's rewind 7 months ago. Whenever I filmed my last wardrobe update, I ended that video with 26 items of clothing in my wardrobe, as well as 4 additional items that I put in trial separation. Those items were these 2 pairs of shorts, this white pair and this taupey colored pair, and then this black top and this black and white 3/4 length top. They're the same top, they're just 2 different fabrics, 2 different colors. Now, I put those items in trial separation. I put the shorts in trial separation because they were my least used pairs of shorts, and I put the tops in trial separation because even though I loved those shirts, they had just become too worn for me to feel comfortable wearing in public. Then COVID hit, and suddenly I am spending a lot more time indoors. I'm working from home, it's the summertime, and so I've decided to incorporate those 4 items of clothing back into my wardrobe, even though the tops were a little too worn for me to feel comfortable really wearing in public. Now that I'm wearing a mask and my priorities for being out in public have definitely changed, I don't really mind as much. So I went from 26 items to now 30 items in my wardrobe. And with that, let's go through everything I have. Let's get right into it. I will show you what I have visible currently on the rail, and then we can walk through outerwear, which is currently tucked over there to the side, but I usually keep in the entryway closet, as well as sweaters, but we'll start with what you can currently see for ease. So I have 11 tops, including what I am wearing now. I should say that at the end of my last wardrobe update, I had decluttered several of my summery tops, and it was always my intent to buy more tops whenever summer rolled around, but since coronavirus has hit and since my priorities have changed, I have not yet actually purchased more replacements. I've just been living with what I have, but it's kind of worked out. I do intend to buy a couple more tank tops, some summery tops, but for now this has been working. So I have 11 tops. I organized them by sleeve length and then color. So starting on the left, I have this kind of very simple navy V-neck top. It is a bit of a heftier fabric, which I think makes it a little more formal. I don't have that many formal events in my life, and so I think it's been really useful to me to have something like this that can be really easily dressed up or dressed down to be a versatile piece for those types of events. Next, I have this black linen t-shirt. I've really been, for the last couple of months, again, working from home, I've really been living in this black linen shirt, this white linen shirt, and this black rayon shirt that I'm wearing right now. They are kind of the lightest options that I currently own, and since I haven't been going out in public and it hasn't really mattered, I've been wearing these pretty much on repeat. So it's just black linen. I don't think you can fault linen, so I get a lot of use out of that. Next, I have these 3/4 length shirt. I've already talked about them before. These 2 guys just made their way out of trial separation. Since I don't care too much about what I look like in public, I am happy to continue wearing these, and I just find it to be a really simple, really classic, easy silhouette that pairs with a lot of different things. So I get a lot of use out of these tops, and I will theoretically be able to get several more months of use out of the black one and the black and white stripe one now that priorities have changed. I have 6 button-down shirts. I have 3 solid white shirts. This is the linen one, like I mentioned. Linen is great, it's super breathable. And then I have these 2, they're almost identical, these 2 white button-down shirts that I usually layer with these a lot in the fall and winter under sweaters or under blazers, and usually whenever I go into the office during the summer I would get a lot of use out of these, but since I've been prioritizing comfort, I've been reaching for the linen one and not these other 2, but under normal circumstances I would get a lot of use out of them. And then finally I guess I'll start with the black shirt that I'm currently wearing. This is made out of rayon. It is a pretty lightweight material and it's really easy to care for, so I've been living in one of these 3 shirts over the last several months. And then I have this black and white star print. This is the only, well, I also have this, the black and white stripe one, but other than that, this is the only other print that I have in my wardrobe. I bought this ages ago whenever I still shopped at Forever 21, but I really love this pattern. I think it's especially fun in the fall, kind of around Halloween time. It's also great for layering under sweaters. It's just fun. So I don't plan on getting rid of this anytime soon. And then 7 or 8 months ago, whenever I filmed my last wardrobe update, I had just purchased this guy, I think, kind of at the end of last summer, beginning of the fall. And this is a blue Oxford weave shirt, and it is loose fitting. It is very comfortable, but because it's an Oxford weave shirt, it's kind of preppy. It makes it a little bit more formal without really trying, like undone formal. You will notice a theme throughout my wardrobe. I think that is kind of the style that I lean towards. I favor the traditional, so. All right, let's move on to pants. I have 1 pair of black pants, 4 pairs of jeans, and 4 pairs of shorts. So these are my black pants. These are kind of an ankle length, very simple black pant. I got these at Ann Taylor a little while ago. They're petite size and they fit me really well. Next, I have jeans. I have 3 pairs of blue jeans and 1 pair of black jeans. I have this lighter, kind of a medium wash blue skinny jean. I have this guy. This is kind of a mid to a dark wash pair of jeans, and you can't actually see any of the elastic that has gone out whenever you put them on, and you can only see it whenever it's sort of hanging flat, so that's not actually a problem whenever I wear it. And then these jeans are a very similar wash, but it's a different rise. It's been a little while, honestly, since I've worn jeans. I've mostly been wearing either my gym pants or shorts for the last several months that I've been on lockdown in my house. So under normal circumstances, I would still be wearing jeans even during the summertime at the office. It's usually freezing at the office, but I have not been wearing these in the summer at all this year. Just gonna be honest and upfront about that. And then finally, I have this pair of jeans. Whenever I filmed my last wardrobe update, I think I had also just gotten this pair of black jeans, and I was really hopeful that they would hold their color. Alas, they have faded a bit, but I think they are still in reasonable territory. I like my dark colors to be very rich and saturated, so I'm constantly on the hunt for a pair of black jeans that will not fade, but the fit is great. They're the most high-waisted pants I own, which is another reason I bought them, so I am still happy with them, but the hunt continues for a pair of black jeans that will not fade as dramatically. And then I have 4 pairs of shorts. These white shorts and these taupe colored shorts were just saved from trial separation. I do like the white shorts for the summertime. They're kind of a bright, fun contrast to the rest of my wardrobe to wear in the summer, but like I said before, I just didn't wear these 2 as much. But since I'm now working from home and can wear shorts as opposed to in the office when I wouldn't usually be wearing shorts, I'm gonna get a lot of use out of these. So I'm going to keep these around. And then, tangled. By far the shorts that I wear the most are these 2 blue denim shorts. These are a dark blue wash and this kind of lighter mid-tone, more casual, little bit faded, little bit vintage looking shorts, but I am getting a ton of use out of these in the summer now that I'm working from home, and I can wear these when I usually couldn't in the office. Next, let's talk about sweaters. I have 5 sweaters, and in case you are wondering why they are not in color order, it's because I still need to wash these 3 from last season. I have not been wearing them since the winter time, and I've been lazy and haven't washed them. So I need to do that, and I've separated them from the clean ones on top. But I have 5 sweaters, and this amount of sweaters has been getting me through the last couple of winters. It's been working out just fine. These 3 sweaters on the bottom are actually all the same sweater in different colors, and you will see that this is very much in keeping with my color palette. I find it really useful to have kind of a limited color palette, so one where everything coordinates to allow me to get the most use out of each individual piece of clothing. Anyway, these 3 are the same sweater, and then I have these 2 sweaters on top that are different. I've complained about this white sweater before because it is not super great quality, but it's worked for me so far, and who knows, this might be enough to get me through even this coming winter, so I'm going to hang on to this guy. If I find a replacement for it that I like and that I think I have the need for, then I might buy it. Otherwise, this one might work just fine. I also have this green sweater. I bought this as a replacement for another sweater that I had to this one that was identical that I wore for several years, and eventually it just shrunk too badly. I did care for it properly, but a subscriber helped me to find a replacement for that exact sweater that I love so much, and so I got this at the beginning of winter last year, and I got a ton of use out of it last season, so I'm very happy to have found it again. And then, like I said, these are all the same sweater, just in different colors, but I have this kind of burgundy version of the sweater. I have this green version of that same sweater. This is more of a marled fabric. It has some green, but also black and a little bit of like this mustardy kind of yellow thread a little bit throughout, which I think makes it a little bit more casual. And then also a navy version of the sweater, which is still quite rich, but it's not so dark that you can't tell that it's navy as opposed to black. So I get a lot of use out of all of these, and I think I will continue to own roughly the same number of sweaters moving forward. All right, finally we have outerwear, which again, I don't usually store here, but I wanted you to be able to see most of my wardrobe together in one place so you can kind of get a sense for the color palette, see what everything looks like all together. Anyway, I have 5 pieces of outerwear, and I organize them kind of in terms of how heavy they are or how warm they are. So over here on the left, I have this green field jacket that I've owned for probably 3 or 4 years. I like that it doesn't have a lot of gold hardware all over it like many other field jackets that I've found. I just want it to be simple and versatile. So I will say that the only downside that I found to this jacket is that it's not lined. I've considered adding lining to this jacket, but you can see I got it from Target. I'm not sure how much it would be to add lining to it, but that's my only complaint about this. Otherwise, it is quite versatile. And then I have 2 jackets, blazers, whatever you want to call them. They are both from Ann Taylor, or this one's from Ann Taylor and this one's from Ann Taylor Loft, but I found that jackets from these stores fit me really well, so I keep looking back so I can add more blazers to my wardrobe eventually. I do really like the fit of both of these. This one is a kind of gray, heathered, marled, gray wool blend. Go to my Instagram, or I can drop some pictures in of me wearing this jacket, but I absolutely love this one. This one's actually a bit lighter than this one, if I'm being honest, but I don't know why I had them in the wrong order. Anyway, this one is a camel blazer, and I like that it has these kind of exaggerated robe-like pockets on it. And sometimes, since winters are typically mild where I live, I can sometimes get away on warmer days in the winter, get away with wearing these as kind of a coat for weather in my area. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes. Especially if I wear a scarf and just kind of beef it up a little bit. Then I have this 3/4 length coat with a funnel neck that I bought at Mango years ago, maybe 4, or I don't even know, but I've had this for a long time. I like that the neck is really dramatic, that's why I bought it, and I like that it's not a super stark black. I do have a black coat that is, also really versatile, but this helps to tone it down a little bit, but it still goes with so many things. And then finally, my beefiest coat that is not part of my ski clothing. I do have a ski jacket, which is a little bit beefier, but I have this black down coat that I got just 2 years ago, I think, but it's super versatile. Everybody owns this coat. It's really simple and it does its job, and it's packable. You can actually stuff it down into the pockets, which I really like. I've only done that once, but that was part of the reason I bought it. If I really wanted to store it compactly, I could, but I don't think it's actually good to do that to down long term, so I resist. But if I really needed to for travel, that would be an option. I wasn't planning on sharing my shoes with you today, but since we're right here and I can be more comprehensive, I thought, why not? I do have 2 other pairs of shoes that are not pictured here. I have 1 pair of Sorel boots that I kind of lumped together with my ski clothing. I really never wear them unless I'm going out of town to somewhere snowy. And I have a pair of gold Havaianas flip-flops that I've basically been living in all summer. Both of those are in the front closet, but otherwise, this is what I'm working with. I have a pair of tall black boots. I have these black Chelsea boots that I wear all the time in the winter. These trainers I only ever wear to the gym. These are a pair of black Pumas that every couple of years I just buy a replacement pair of the exact same Pumas. I find them to go with just about everything. Down here I have a pair of house slippers that I will likely find a new replacement for come next fall or winter, but for now they're still kind of hanging out here. And then I have 2 pairs of black sandals, this pair of simple black flip-flops, and then these black leather sandals are a little bit more formal, but still kind of simple and very versatile. Okay, that is everything in my closet. Again, I have 30 items of clothing now for the entire year. Let me know in the comments down below if it's useful for you to see wardrobe updates like this. I mean, today I'm only adding things back to my wardrobe that were previously a part of my wardrobe anyway. And I think in my last couple of wardrobe updates, there have only been small changes, but let me know if it's useful for you guys to see these kind of regular check-ins, even if things are staying pretty consistent in my wardrobe. If you're curious to see those things, then let me know and I can definitely keep doing this. But I guess I do want to mention that I think the reason my wardrobe has stayed consistent for so long, several of these items were actually a part of my wardrobe 2 years ago whenever I made my very first video. Some things are new, I have purchased some replacements, but several of these items were around even back then and they still work for me today. So I think it is very important, if you can, to spend some time up front to identify your style. If you want to have a small wardrobe that stays fairly consistent and works for you for a long time, that can be really beneficial. You can definitely be a person whose style evolves and you can still have a small wardrobe. That's not any kind of contradiction, but I found it to be incredibly useful to do some work up front to figure out what my style was so that I could build a wardrobe that would sustain that for a long time. All right, that's gonna be it for me today. Again, if you have any questions that you want answered in my upcoming Q&A video, please leave them as comments on this video or this Instagram post, which I will also link down below if I can figure out how to link an individual Instagram post. And I will get to those in the next couple of weeks in that video. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you're all staying safe and healthy out there, and I will see you next time.